Good morning, Chairman, board members. My name is Michele Gangnes, and I'm a Lee County landowner and attorney. I'm here today as a director of the Simsboro Aquifer Water Defense Fund, SAWDEF we call it, an all-volunteer 501c3 organization that provides assistance and support to landowners like those who are protesting the LCRA project in Bastrop County. The project infringes their groundwater property rights, whether they have wells or not, and will render intolerable negative impacts on all formations of the Carrizo-Wilcox and on flows in the Colorado River. Landowners should be able to choose to conserve their water in the ground, to use it or not as they choose, to promote sustainability of our aquifers, and to not have their water sucked out from under them. Like you, I suspect we all think about what we are leaving our grandchildren. LCRA apparently believes its groundwater rights are superior to other landowners' water rights and to the well-being of the river LCRA is mandated to protect. That makes you just another water pirate masquerading as a public servant in our view. Over 100 Bastrop landowners filed formal protests as a last resort because LCRA would not work with them or with us, but none of us would pick litigation over having good neighbors, especially litigation with LCRA, whose employees on the ground work hard for us every day, and we appreciate them. Pulling this ill-conceived permit application off the table would demonstrate to all your communities that you serve them, you don't rule them, and that you choose to be part of the solution and not the problem of exploitation and depletion of our resources. I share Mr. Watson's perspective, but I have my own perspective on your management's accountability and transparency failures. LCRA's publicized need for over 3 billion gallons a year from the Griffith League morphed 3 short years later without warning into 8 billion gallons for export to unspecified users. We asked the Lost Pines District in February to have you appear and explain your new plans to the public. They told us LCRA essentially answered, that's not going to happen. That is a deliberate and intolerable evasion by a state agency. Later, our representative John Cyrier brought LCRA to the table with Ms. Jeannie Jessup, who you'll hear from Friends of Bastrop Water, prior to anyone protesting the permit. Cyrier asked me to sit in with your EVP for Water, Mr. Hoffman, General Counsel, Mr. Oney, and your consultant, Mr. Ansira. Mr. Hoffman first assured us that a couple of newspaper articles in 2015 sufficed to advise your neighbors what would happen to them in 2018. Remember, 3 billion went to 8 billion. This is not true by any stretch of the imagination. I explicitly asked Mr. Hoffman to sit down with organized groups and landowners to find common ground on water issues and avoid litigation. To quote Mr. Hoffman, with Mr. Oney nodding in approval as far as I recall, LCRA is not interested in giving you free discovery for a lawsuit. There was no lawsuit then, and no desire on our part to have one. I suspect each of you as a landowner, can you each divorce yourself from the specter of hundreds of your neighbors feeling you have betrayed them for the life of this project? If LCRA intended to take the groundwater from under your land without a backward glance, would you stand for it? Neither will we. Thank you for your attention. Appreciate being heard.